In 2018, the tech world was rocked by a revelation that seemed straight out of a Hollywood movie. Apple, a titan of technology, a fortress of digital security, had been breached. Their supposedly unbreakable vault of corporate servers, the very heart of their operations, was infiltrated. But this wasn't the work of a sophisticated state-sponsored cybercrime syndicate or a team of elite hackers. No, the culprit was a 16-year-old boy, operating from his suburban home in Melbourne, Australia. Over the course of a year, this teenager repeatedly bypassed Apple's defenses, navigating their internal network with surprising ease. He downloaded approximately 90 gigabytes of what were described as secure files. To put that in perspective, that's a massive amount of data. He also managed to obtain authorization keys, the digital skeleton keys that could grant access to user accounts. It was a staggering security failure for a company that prides itself on protecting user privacy above all else. How did he do it? The methods, while not groundbreaking, were cleverly implemented. He used a combination of VPNs or virtual private networks and other anonymizing tools to mask his digital footprint, making his location and identity difficult to trace. He was a ghost in the machine, moving silently through Apple's digital corridors. The sheer audacity of it was almost comical. Evidence later revealed he had stored some of the stolen data in a computer folder brazenly named Hacky Hack Hack. It was the digital equivalent of a cat burglar leaving a playful note at the scene of the crime. For months, his intrusion went unnoticed. Apple, with its billions of dollars and armies of cybersecurity experts, was completely unaware that a teenager was rummaging through its digital filing cabinets. It was only when they finally detected the unauthorized access that the alarm bells started ringing loud and clear. Realizing the potential severity of the breach, Apple didn't just try to handle it internally. They immediately contacted the FBI. The situation was serious enough to warrant an international investigation. The FBI then looped in their counterparts down under. The Australian Federal Police, or AFP, a joint task force, was essentially formed to hunt down this mysterious intruder. The digital breadcrumbs, though cleverly hidden, eventually led them to a quiet Melbourne suburb, and specifically, to the home of our 16-year-old protagonist. The subsequent police raid must have been a surreal experience for his family. Federal agents swarmed the house, their objective not to find weapons or contraband, but to seize digital evidence. They collected 2 laptops, a mobile phone, and a hard drive, the modern-day tools of a digital outlaw. The laptops, in particular, were described as having their serial numbers matching the devices that had accessed Apple's internal systems. The game was up. The digital ghost had been unmasked, and he was just a kid. When the case went to court, the teenager pleaded guilty. The facts were undeniable. The prosecution laid out the timeline of the hacks, the sheer volume of data he had siphoned, and the sophisticated methods he used to cover his tracks. The potential consequences were severe. Hacking a major corporation is a serious federal crime in Australia, and doing so on Apple's scale could have easily resulted in jail time, even for a minor. But then, the defense presented a narrative that changed the entire tone of the proceedings. The boy's lawyer argued that this wasn't an act of malicious intent. The teenager wasn't trying to sell the data, extort Apple, or cause chaos. Instead, his lawyer claimed he was a massive admirer of the company. He was a superfan. His dream wasn't to tear Apple down, it was to one day work there. He saw hacking into their servers as the ultimate challenge, a way to prove his skills to the very company he idolized. He reportedly told his friends online about his exploits, boasting about his ability to get into Apple's mainframe. This defense painted a picture not of a criminal mastermind, but of a misguided, albeit brilliant, young tech enthusiast whose ambition had dangerously outpaced his judgment. He saw Apple's secure network not as a barrier, but as a puzzle to be solved, a Mount Everest to be climbed. He wanted to show them what he could do, hoping, perhaps, that they would be so impressed they'd offer him a job. It's a classic hacker fantasy trope, but in this case, it appeared to be true. The court had to weigh the severity of the crime against the apparent motive and the age of the offender. On one hand, he had committed a major security breach against one of the world's most powerful companies. On the other, he was a child who, according to his lawyer, let his fandom get the better of him. The judge ultimately showed leniency. Instead of a conviction and prison time, the boy was sentenced to 8 months of probation. He walked away without a criminal record, a second chance to channel his considerable talents into more legal pursuits. The verdict sent ripples through the cybersecurity community. Some argued it was a slap on the wrist, a dangerous precedent that might encourage other young hackers to test their luck. They felt that the scale of the breach demanded a more severe punishment, regardless of the motive. Others saw it as a wise and compassionate decision. They argued that incarcerating a gifted but naive teenager would serve no purpose. It would only crush his potential and turn a fan into a foe. Instead, the focus should be on rehabilitation and guidance. Apple, for its part, was remarkably quiet throughout the ordeal. After the news broke, they released a statement reassuring customers that no personal data had been compromised. They emphasized that their security teams had discovered the breach, contained it, and reported it to law enforcement. They wanted to project an image of control, to downplay the fact that they had been vulnerable for so long. Privately, however, you can be sure that this incident triggered a massive internal security overhaul. It was a wake-up call. If a 16-year-old from Melbourne could get in, who else could? This story raises fascinating questions about the nature of hacking, talent, and corporate responsibility. Where is the line between a malicious attack and a misguided attempt to prove one's worth? How should the justice system handle prodigies who break the law? And what responsibility do companies like Apple have to identify and nurture this kind of raw talent, rather than waiting for them to cross a line? The hacky hack kid, as he might forever be known, became a legend in certain online circles. His story serves as a modern-day fable. It's a cautionary tale about the temptations of the digital world and the fine line between curiosity and criminality. It's also a testament to the fact that sometimes the biggest threats don't come from where you expect. They might not come from a rival nation or a criminal organization, but from a kid in their bedroom, armed with a laptop and a dream of working for the very company they're hacking. His identity was protected due to his age, so we don't know what became of him. Did he learn his lesson? Did he go on to use his skills for good, perhaps becoming a cybersecurity expert, a so-called white hat hacker who helps companies find their vulnerabilities? Or did the thrill of the breach prove too tempting to resist again? We can only hope that his admiration for Apple eventually led him down a path where he could contribute to their legacy, rather than just challenge it. One thing is certain. For a brief moment in time, this one teenager showed the world that even the mightiest digital giants can have an Achilles heel. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the most incredible stories from the world of tech and beyond. See you in the next video.